Today I want to talk to you about kind of martial arts of the mind when it comes to getting back the power and control in your life. You may be experiencing worries, doubts, fears, all the kind of things getting in your way, right? And you might be feeling like you're on your back, like everything is just coming at you and you're just trying to get up and get up and get up to try to get to where you want to be. It's very, very common. If you experience low self-esteem or if you're experiencing some kind of issue, it weighs you down. And it feels uncomfortable there, right? It feels very uncomfortable. You may feel lost, you may feel alone, and you just don't know where to go to be able to get back up again. But what I want you to consider is this, and I was thinking this on my run, that if you imagine like mixed martial arts, they train for when they're in that position of being on the floor. Like they are training their mind and body to be able to remain calm, collective, to be able to be in that situation with ease, to have the flexibility of behavior. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you're kind of struggling right now, you must remember that this is the perfect opportunity for you to make a comeback. You see, my greatest learnings in my life, my greatest epiphanies, my greatest breakthroughs were the times when I was at my lowest. It's only through, I believe, like our shadows, our problems, can they actually be our greatest instigators in life. So when I experienced crazy anxiety and that dread every day in the pit of my stomach, the beating of my heart, it actually woke me up. It woke me up to pay attention that something is not right. And if the situation is not going to change, I must be the instigator. I must be the one to make the change that we really need. So if you're with me with this, no matter where you are in your life, make the one decision today that you're going to assume responsibility for where you are and where you're heading. That it's no longer on life, the circumstance, or the environment. It's actually on you. And that's good news. In fact, Viktor Frankl, and I've said this many times, said, he was in the concentration camps, and he said, when you're unable to change a situation, you are challenged to change yourself. And very much going back to the analogy of mixed martial arts, I said it properly that time. I didn't get tripped up on all those M's. When you go back to the mixed martial arts, they are training themselves to be in that position, to be able to come up with, I don't know why I'm doing my hands there, but to come up with a new way to act and react in that situation. And I really like to think of that as the law of requisite variety. What does that really mean, Joseph? Well, it means the person or the system with the most flexibility in their behavior dictates the system, dictates their environment. So you have to begin to become more adaptable. You have to start to realize this place where you are right now, although uncomfortable, can be your biggest breakthrough. When you're going for a breakdown, you're ready for a breakthrough. That's what I say. And when you're on the floor, it's the perfect opportunity to get comfortable there for a second. Like regain yourself, get the focus. I always say as well, when you experience symptoms like anxiety, it is your signal to focus on what you want. So when you're really feeling low, make it your wake-up call where you decide today that actually I'm going to focus on what I want. I'm going to focus on what makes me feel good. I'm going to take responsibility for my life. I'm going to take massive and inspired action, because the mind is like a GPS system, like one of those satellite navigation systems. Wherever you put the destination, it's going to find the quickest route to get there. So if you're focusing in that low place, when you're feeling all the worries and the doubts and the fears and all those things, you're going to attract more of that into your life. But when you begin to change your focus and you begin to focus on what you want and how you want to be, you begin to transform your life. You are sending the right signals to your mind and your body to be able to get exactly what you want, regardless of situation. When you get your mind right, the facts don't count. I heard that a long time ago and I love it. Like when your mindset is right, the facts don't count. You can begin to hustle, you can take that action, and you can begin to thrive and blossom being the superstar that you are. Because even if you don't believe you're worthy or good enough, Even if you feel like a failure, even if you feel as if the world is just a bad, horrible place and it's all against you, remember that I believe in you, that I know deep down within you, there is a part of you just ready to break out. There's a part of you who is just waiting to be called up to begin to integrate and transform your life. You have to make that decision though. The conscious mind is the goal setter. In other words, your thoughts will dictate how your unconscious mind reacts. And that's why I said the satellite navigation system. Like, you have to put your destination in there. Not in all the places you don't want to visit, not all the worries and anxieties and all the things coming your way. You want to make sure that your mind and body is ready to listen to you. You see, when I experienced anxiety and worry, I didn't really have many opportunities. Thankfully, my dad helped me along the way, but what I realized is that I could create myself. I can build myself up through the practice of learning to be adaptable, learning to experience the feelings that I experience, but allow to learn from them and go through them. You see, if I learn and grow, I can only get better and better and better, which means it allows me to get stronger. Excuse me 1 second. This young monster was getting in the way of everything. So we've got an appearance here of my wonderful little furry son. So when we are in the situation where you feel really low, you have to make that decision that life's going to be different. You have to make that conscious decision to take responsibility for where you are and where you're heading. To refuse to be a product of life. To refuse to be just that product and instead allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. Because when you decide that, your life will never be the same again. So if you're feeling low, just go, okay, I'm getting used to this. I'm learning in this situation. I'm considering where I am and how this can allow me to get better in my life. What can I learn here? What is the message that I need to get and understand which will allow me to be better than yesterday? Because think about it. If you learn just by 1% each and every day, the compound interest of that learning will just dramatically explode your happiness to where you need to be. So just focus on, what can I learn here? What do I have to learn which will allow me to be safer tomorrow? Safer than yesterday. And when you do that, you decide something very, very remarkable because you're taking a stand. Usually our system feels like it's just being like attacked in many ways, right? So we're just that product of our environment, or we just react to the situations in our life. But we have to train up our mind that actually we are the dictators of our life, that we can start to subtly and effortlessly. I'm not going to say it's going to be a miracle cure, right? There's just a one mindset. And you have to just realize by just learning in this situation, by becoming more flexible in who you are, to realize that you are not your problem. You are not that belief system. For example, if you believe you're not good enough or not worthy, that is not who you are. It's not fundamentally who you are as a way of being in this world. In fact, you are profound. Like, the deepest part of you is whole. However, sometimes we buy into that habit almost because of our past experiences. But realize the I ams, when it comes to the negative, that's not your identity. It's just a strategy, a behavior, a habit that has been formulated over time, usually through past significant emotional events, the negative ones, which cause us to believe that is who we are. But that is not who you are. What you are is powerful. What you are is light and love and joy and contentment and fulfillment. It's just kind of buried through all the past experiences. But when you decide how powerful you are, when you decide that you want something different, when you make a decision that now is the time to wake up to the most powerful part of you and declare to yourself and the world, even declare it in the comments if you want, that you are ready to step up and never be a product of your environment. Instead, you choose to allow life to be a product of something that you're going to choose to create. This is your decision. That is personal power. That is empowerment. So realize wherever you are right now, wherever, no matter how bad the situation is, things will change. You will get better, you will grow, and you will learn. You just have to make that clear signal. Just like I did, just like how thousands millions and millions of people around the world who have been in far worse situations probably than ourselves. You might think your problem is really, really big, but we know from global events, we know from history, people have gone through hard stuff and overcome it, become stronger and better, and become an example of what can be done. Think about your legacy, right? There's what I think about quite a bit. Like, what's the legacy I'm going to be leaving when I leave here? I want my life to be like an example of what can be done and how we can live a life full of love and inner fulfillment. Now, you might say, well, Joseph, you're doing it to a big level. How can I do that? And things like that, like just because I'm doing things online and things. But you can leave a legacy to those in your life, your parents. You can leave it to your children. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone that we interact with, we can be the example, that lasting memory of what can be done and how profoundly that you can shine your light in the world. Be the example of what you want to achieve and what you want to see in others. Be the person who you crave on the inside, but it starts with taking responsibility. It starts with asking, what can I learn in this situation? And then starting to be adaptable and realize this state right now is temporary. There's temporary right now, this fear, this doubt, this worry, but if I make a decision, and I declare to myself, I declare to the world that something's going to change and I'm going to be the one who's going to change it. I'm going to start to put my attention on what needs to be focused upon. All that is good in my world. Have all the gratitude and take that massive inspired action. Your life will change. It might not happen overnight, but that collection, that interest that you'll be building up in the emotional well-being bank will begin to flourish and grow and come back to you. So radiate what you want most and realize that you, my friend, have the power within you to make the change that you truly desire. So I'm going to leave that with you, my friends. Like I said, it's the first time I've been live for many, many months when it comes to this page. I've been just in like mind mastery every day mostly. But I am getting back to this page and hopefully delivering value. I want to do some live hypnosis with you in the coming weeks as well. If that's going to be of value to you, let me know. And other than that, just realize, even if you don't believe it yourself, realize that I believe in you, that you do have all the resources. Even if you feel broken, even if you feel unfixable, deep within you, there's a profound light of awesomeness. And it's our job to shine a light to it. Now, hopefully I'm going to help you get there, be assistance, be hopefully a guide to you. But at the end of the day, it all comes from you. And that's such awesome news, because that shows how powerful you can be in this world. So have the most wonderful day, my wonderful friends, and I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.